To me, the Bethniel Finance app replaced a hole in my life. I have always wanted something closer to, getting financial information in one spot. And it was really difficult trying to do that in Ghana, for Ghana. And so when the Bethniel Finance app came, I realized that I had all the market information I was looking for. It would report on bonds, mutual funds, stocks, forex, everything I was looking for really. And the spot I was talking about was filled. I now go to the Bethniel Finance app almost every day and I get the market information that I need. From the perspective as the president of the Bethniel Finance University community, I'm happy when I see that over 150 plus members of this community have had their financial lives change. Every week, we have activities, we have webinars, and we are educating them on the various sections of their personal finance lives. And also from the perspective of being in the community myself, I've seen immense change in my financial life. I never considered retirement till I joined the Bethniel Finance community, and I have a retirement plan. My investment portfolio, everything is looking good, and I didn't just do that on my own. It's because I stick with Bethniel Finance. I've seen the change. I've had the opportunity to, connect with all the people who have interviewed on our webinars, and it's been exciting as an individual and as a student. To me, the Bethniel Finance app replaced a hole in my life. I have always wanted something closer to, getting financial information in one spot. And it was really difficult trying to do that in Ghana, for Ghana. And so when the Bethniel Finance app came, I realized that I had all the market information I was looking for. It would report on bonds, mutual funds, stocks, forex, everything I was looking for really. And the spot I was talking about was filled. I now go to the Bethniel Finance app almost every day and I get the market information that I need. From the perspective as the president of the Bethniel Finance University community, I'm happy when I see that over 150 plus members of this community have had their financial lives change. Every week, we have activities, we have webinars, and we are educating them on the various sections of their personal finance lives. And also from the perspective of being in the community myself, I've seen immense change in my financial life. I never considered retirement till I joined the Bethniel Finance community, and I have a retirement plan. My investment portfolio, everything is looking good, and I didn't just do that on my own. It's because I stick with Bethniel Finance. I've seen the change. I've had the opportunity to, connect with all the people who have interviewed on our webinars, and it's been exciting as an individual and as a student.
All right. Good evening to everyone. All right. So good evening to everyone. My name is Dominic Nyako Esibu, and I'm the Vice President for Bethniel Finance KNUST chapter. And tonight we are having a webinar that pursuing a career in finance. And we have our resource person in the person of Master Kelvin Kote Jr. Master Kelvin.
Hello, Dominic. Can you hear me?
So, Master. Yeah, good evening once again.
Yeah, I hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I hope you're also fine.
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's a Friday night. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, without wasting much time, the floor is yours. You tell us a bit about yourself. Give us a little introduction about yourself, please.
Okay. So my name is Kelvin Quote. I currently work with the client coverage team at IC Group. So I'm a senior analyst there. So IC Group has subsidiaries, IC Asset Managers and IC Securities. The asset management company, this is a fund management company that manages funds for institutions, individuals, pension funds, and a number of a host of other categories. For the ICT side, that's the investment banking, or what we call the fundraising side of the business. So whether it's structuring deals, providing financial advisory, the ICT side of the business does that. So what I do is I work with a client coverage team that works on managing client relationship as well as originating and then closing some of the deals that we get in the business across the group. Yeah, so that's what I do.
Oh, all right. Okay. So, can you, for somebody who is trying to pursue a career in finance, I mean, how is finance like? I mean, somebody who is yet to, we have new people joining, somebody might not even have heard of anything about finance. So, can you just give us a brief before we commence the business?
Okay, so everything that we do in this life involves money. Um, whether it is raising the money to do pursue a certain business. If you are starting a business, you're definitely involved in money. And for finance, basically it has to do with raising those funds and then channeling it to as resource to help whatever venture, whatever business that you are starting grow. So it gives you an idea of that. And then for someone who wants to pursue or interested in finance, this is what your activity revolve around. One which is how do you raise funds for your business? Number two, how is the funds managed? And then number three, how do you even report on that? If you're looking at the investing side, which basically looks at how do you use these funds that have been raised or these funds that you have allocated, be able to put into a certain venture or an enterprise that yields what you invested plus a certain return. So in a simple, basic way of explaining what finance and investing is, this is how I'll explain it to someone who's interested in that. So if you are interested in investing funds, that's what's happening in the economy, investment, various securities that are available, what is happening on the Ghana Stock Exchange, what is happening on the bonds market, a company interested in raising funds, um, company wants to list on a Ghana Stock Exchange, these are areas in which if you're working in finance or investing, you would be facing on a day-to-day basis, or depending on where you find yourself in finance, you would be encountering.
Oh, okay. So, if somebody may ask, what actually drew you to this field?
Couple of reasons. One, my mom has a small business, and I worked there when I was much younger. Now the business is no more. She's venturing into a different thing. But when she was there, I was spending a lot of my time in keeping the records of the business. So the small business, tracking expenses, tracking sales that were coming in. And so from there, that's where the interest in money or numbers came in. Then I went to university and studied finance. And I got to understand that goes goes beyond what I was doing in the small office of my mom, where I was helping her to go to track expenses. Now you're understanding that on a higher level, businesses revolve around that, and whether it's raising capital to go, because cash becomes the main bloodline for every business. If the business doesn't have cash now, the business goes down. So understanding the importance of what finance and investing places or the role it plays in in business, in life, in society, in an economy. Those are the things that made me wonder, wow, this is something very important, and I would want to pursue something of that sort. I mean, aside that, yes, finance people who get into finance are it's a very good career. You're paid well. If you're putting in the effort and you're paid well, it's a great opportunity to meet very smart people, equally smart people. Because when it comes to money, you need smart people to be able to manage it. So all of that and that exposure and understanding made me want to pursue a career in finance. And here I am at the moment.
Oh, all right. And I have another question. What part of the job actually motivates you? I mean, gets you going, and how you are from the way you are speaking, it seems you are so much into the finance. And what motivates you? What keeps you in it? What
Um,
parts do you do there?
yeah. First of all, I mean, you either have to love what you do or you do what you love. One way or the other is still the same. For me, waking up in the morning and then realizing that whatever I do, no matter how small it is, contribute to something much bigger is one of the things that makes me really motivated to do to start my work. With what I do in terms of the role that I play, I work with a team that helps to brainstorm ideas. So I work with two sides. So the side that the investment banking side, I work with them to brainstorm
Mm-hmm.
ideas on how to maybe go and then originate a certain deal, whether it's a company that wants to create a mutual fund or a company wants advisory, wants to raise more capital for their business. I'm able to work with a team to brainstorm. So you end up realizing that just being in those meetings, you are around people who are very like who are top executives in their firm, and they are contributing to um, the success of those businesses. And on the other hand, when you are working with the asset management firm, you are looking at people's pension funds, institutional investments that they are making. You are helping them do analysis on how you are talking to the client on how whatever is happening in the economy or whatever investments that the firm is taking is going to impact them. So it's basically and what makes me keep moving is what I do and understanding that no matter how small it is, contribute to something much bigger and the exposure is enormous.
Oh, okay. So for us who are dreaming of becoming top financial analysts, then what special skill must we possess?
So if you want to work in finance, there are various skills that you need to have. I would say you need to have a certain mindset, right mindset. You have to have it as well. So the mindset and the skills work hand in hand. When I got to when I started working at IC, my boss told me something. He said, Kelvin, the way to succeed in this work that you're doing, especially if you're now starting, is that one, you have to be able to produce quality work, excellent work. When the work is out there and anybody that looks at it and he sees that this is a quality work that's been put together. At the same time, you have to ensure that that quality work is delivered on time. The challenge is being able to manage these two. One, you want to produce quality work. At the same time, you want to ensure that it is done on time. You can't take too much time because you want to have perfection. So you have to be able to do it well um, and do it on time and be able to do it over and over and over again. That was the advice that my boss gave me. Aside that, the other skills that you need to master or be able to work in finances, being able to present or speak to people. So communication is very, very important. Whether it is writing, your ability to write very well and communicate your thoughts on point immediately, so that anybody that looks at it is able to understand it without ambiguity. On the other hand, your ability to speak to people and communicate clearly so that they can understand what you are saying. Because sometimes finance can be complicated, and depending on who you are speaking with, you need to be able to communicate to them very well. Number three, you have to be able to learn quickly and on the job. A lot of the things that you learn in school would help you get the foundation, but to be very functional in the role that you're going to play when you get into finance, you have to be able to learn on the job. Either you are learning from colleagues or you are learning on the internet or your spare time, you have to be able to learn. And you just have to be like a sponge and learning from different sides. And that's what will make you stand out in the role that you perform. Another skill that you need to have is be able to think critically, because a lot of the times you'll be faced with problems and you have to solve. Your boss could tell you, Kelvin, go and then prepare a proposal for this client or a pitch. We want to go and talk to this client about this. We need to think about a solution for this problem. Your ability to think critically about the problem, whether you are using inductive or deductive thinking, to be able to generate ideas that can help the business grow. I remember when I joined IC, my boss told me something. He said, among the many things that we are paying you for, we are paying for your opinion. So you have to be able to have ideas on your own to say that even if your boss says, I think A is good, you can also propose, I think B is good. And you can be able to, you can do that if you are clearly thinking about what problem you are solving or what problem you have at stake, and be able to bring some solutions for yourself. So being able to think critically and bringing ideas and owning them and then communicating them very well will help you to go far. So I say those are some of the skills that you need to have to be able to work in finance and work and excel.
All right, thank you so much. And I just had a text from one of our participants. Says I mentioned something like financial analyst there. So the careers themselves, somebody's what are the various careers that are available if the person I don't know if that's what he's trying to ask. Yes. So what are some of the careers itself, the careers that are available for someone?
Sure. So I would take finance and break it into two. So you have banking and you have investment. I mean, the banking
All
industry,
right.
you understand what they do at various tiers. Yeah, they have various tiers of the banking, or should I say the banking business? Should I say there's a microfinance, the commercial banks, they have investment banks. If you're looking at the banking side, there are various roles that you can play in, whether you're working in a customer care service, you're working in operations, you're working in technology, or you're working in research, or you're working in the investment side. There are various fields that you can work in. For my side, I can speak well for my side, which is the investing industry. So in the investing industry, there are two sides. You have the fund management side, that's the investment management side, those that manage funds for people, and they have the side that raise funds for people. You can think of it as the haves and the have-nots. So the people who work with those who want to raise funds or want to be able to raise some finance, you find roles like investment banking. You find another role such as uh, global markets, which trades equities and bonds. So there are the investment banking side, there's the global market, there's the asset management side, and then there are other supporting departments like risk management, and then finance as well. That's the accounting part of the business. So you clearly need to find out from yourself which part of the finance industry really excites you. Are you the person that wants to stay in the back and then support the team to be able to do very well? Then you may be thinking of risk management, you may be thinking of finance, that's the accounting part of the business, or you may be thinking of research. Even with research, there's a bit of you being out there in terms of writing your thoughts and your ideas and communicating it to people, but you're not interfacing clients. But if you're a person that wants to interface clients, then you may be thinking of investment banking and then asset management, where you are clearly talking to clients and then involved in the core business that's happening. So read around what's the various rules that I've mentioned, then look at yourself and find out which one would interest you the best, and then develop the skills that's needed to perform or excel at that role, and then take the steps to do that.
All right. You talked about research. What now evolving, ICT is now all over. ICT, you can't take technology from anything we are doing nowadays. So somebody might want to know what the role ICT is playing in this current. I mean, when you were mentioning the skills, you were talking about this. So the hard skills, I mean, some were soft and then some were hard skills. So these hard skills, like so possessing somebody, a computer scientist who is entering the field of say finance, what advantages, or does the person have an upper hand on somebody who is in the field without possessing such knowledge in this IT field? Is there any upper hand? Does the person have upper hand over such a person?
So you're looking at someone who has a background in tech or to IT and get into the finance industry. Is that just
Yes.
to clarify? So there are
Yeah.
many roles, especially if you are starting out in if you're starting out in finance. There are many roles that you can get into. One is you can go to the core tech team, so where you are building applications, because most of the things that we do, be able to calculate returns, be able to model and track investment transactions, all of that form part of the core team, the core tech team in a firm. Then there is a supporting IT team that are in charge of firewall, cybersecurity, and the likes. Those are the core tech team that you probably find in the finance industry. But aside that, you're not limited to just the core technology. You can also work in insights, that's research, because there's a lot of analytics that go into that field. You have to be able to build models or be able to track a lot of things, to be able to formulate ideas to say, okay, this is what is happening. So there's a lot of technology that's also needed with research and then and insight. Aside that, you also you also need to aside that the other point is working with the core even investment. Because with investment banking, for example, you have to, for instance, at a point you want to produce or provide investment advice for a tech-related team. So let's say MTN, you want to analyze MTN. Because you understand technology, you can be able to produce ideas that run along with it. Or another company comes in that works in the tech industry that needs some form of advice. So your knowledge or your background can help in that. So just to summarize what I just said, if you have a background in technology, there are so many areas that you can fit yourself. Whether you're working a core tech team that's providing service for your business that you are where you're working, or you can be part of the team that's the investment banking or investment advisory firm that is providing knowledge and that may need some input in technology for a certain company. So there are diverse ways you can fall in depending on where you didn't fit or where you think will work for you. So just listen to, just as I've said, find out which one work for you and then pursue it.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Kote, please, if I may ask, do you have any quote that motivates you, any quote that keeps you going as a person?
I'll say I have two quotes. The first one, so the two quotes that I have come from two poems that I'm really passionate about. One is The Sunny Day. I've quite forgotten the person who wrote it, but the quote is, "What do you wish to do with your one wild and precious life?" And that was a line in the poem. What do you wish to do with your one wild and precious life? And that question is something that I think about most of the time. What do you want to do? You wake up in the morning on a Monday morning. What do you want to do? Do you want to pursue this? What do you? So it clearly asks you the question, what do you want to do? And you have to find a solution with it. And the way the question poses is that it looks at your life as well. So what do you want to do with your one wild and precious life? So you have one life, it's precious. What do you want to do with it? So that question is very important. And then the other quotes that I also find interesting is from the poem Invictus, where it says, "I'm the captain of my soul, I'm the master of my faith." So basically, whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to fail, it is highly dependent on you. You are the one that is going to determine that. There are a lot of factors in the environment that will determine or shape how you would perform in future. But the main thing in terms of what's the main thing that you have control over is what you can do. So in your own surrounding, whether you want to succeed, whether you wake up and you put 7 hours into your work or 4 hours into your work, or you want to work hard and produce great work. It's all dependent on you. There are other factors, yes, but it's dependent on you. So if you marry the two codes, it's basically saying what you want to do in your life, and when you define or you settle on what you want to do, then go all at it because you are the captain of it. You are the one that would determine whether you're going to succeed or not. So those two codes are my favorites.
Okay. Okay, so if anybody has a question, I think the chat box is open for your questions and let's see. Please, if you have any question, you can kindly type them in the chat box and you answer our resource person will answer it for you, please. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay. There's one very funny one. Please, Richard wants to know when is it when you were young, did you have any dream company you were trying to work with, or the finance just came along the way when you entered university?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. So growing up, you get this question a lot. What do you want to be when you grow up? Or when you want to grow, or when you grow up, what do you want to be? It's one question that I always struggle to answer because there were so many things I wanted to be when I was growing up. Even now, I still have a lot of interest. So there are very few people in this world that at the start of their life, they know exactly where they want to go and they pursue it, put in their hours, and they become successful at it. A lot of us, we have to either settle on something or decide that we want to pursue something and then we go ahead with it. So for me, finance has been one of the many things that I wanted to do, but it wasn't that I had this dream that I was going to work in finance when I completed. It was when I got into university, and even with university, when I was applying to UPSA, I like UPSA's structure of business development, business administration because it gives you room to study a lot of things. So it gave me a lot of time to be able to figure out where exactly in business I wanted to go because I like marketing, I like finance, I like management, I like human resource. But then in my final year, I had to think of what to do. So I had to speak with I had to speak to some friends or some colleagues who had completed university already who were working in finance. And by speaking with them and asking them a lot of questions on what their experience has been and what motivated them to get into this field, I was able to get some kind of knowledge and insight into this field. And then I made a decision for myself to go into it. So for me, it wasn't a one day thing like aha moment. I said, "Ha, I'm going to get into finance." It was more of a gradual process where I had to learn about the different opportunities that are available for me and then pick out one that really worked for me in terms of career, the career, the success that's behind that role, and how that role can also impact my life. So based on that and finding knowledge in this and to answer these questions made me settle on finance. So if you are still wondering, or if you are here and you are considering finance but they aren't sure about it, take the time to read more about it. If you have the opportunity to do an internship, maybe 3 months, 6 months with a firm in the finance or investment industry, and then get to learn as much as you can. That way, it will help you to shape the way or the decision that you make, whether this is for you or not. Because sometimes you can listen to what I'm saying, it may sound nice, and you may get into it, and it may not work for you, or you may listen to it and you get into it and it will work for you. The best way to decide whether you think something is good for you is to try it. That's why we have something we call prototype. So you test it to see whether that will work for you. So talk to somebody in the field, do an internship, read more around it, watch some videos, watch some movies around it. Then that would be able to help you to decide whether the finance field is good for you or not. So I'm sure this would work for you.
Wow.
Oh, keep the questions coming. It's Friday night. I'm
Like
here.
I've seen the question.
Keep the questions coming.
Oh wow. It's so enlightening. Please, those coming to my personal DM, you can chat it today. Type in the chat box for me, please. Please, there's a question. It
Sure, go
says
ahead.
I joined a few minutes late, but what will be some suitable post-first degree courses for someone looking to pursue a career in investments, banking, or asset management?
Sure.
Are there any
Ideally,
post-first degree courses? Mhm.
I mean, post first degree, I mean, do a master's that is related to the field. So either a master's in finance, an MBA would work. And yes, if you want to work in core finance, those ones will work for you. But if you're starting out, you don't necessarily need to have your first degree in finance. If you have it, it's great. But if you don't have it and you are already in a different field, but you are interested in finance, you are not lost at all. What you need to do is that you can take internships. You can even complete with a degree in agriculture science and say I want to get into finance and start with an internship. Start small, but there's so much opportunity for you to grow. So you can start by doing an internship. That makes the people or the company that you want to go into like you, give it experience, and you have something in your CV to help you to either progress or apply to another company for a full-time role. So you can start that way. If you're already in finance, no, you've taken a shortcut. Means that maybe a few experience here and there and knowledge, and you're already in the field. If you're not in already in finance, don't be discouraged. Try to seek for an internship. It may not be paid, but it gives you exposure, it gives you knowledge, and then you can put something in your CV that you have some experience and knowledge in finance and read along. There are short courses that you can take. The FMVA, that's the financial modeling course, is online. You can take it. There are other courses as well on Coursera that you can also take. All of this helps you to be able to build that foundation or that background with the knowledge and experience to be able to get into finance and do very well. So I think this is something that can help you in terms of navigating your career. If you already have a degree and you want to pursue a master's degree, then a master's in finance or an MBA would also help you.
All right. It seems John joined that early, and he says initially we're talking about IC. IC. He wants to know what the IC is about.
Okay, so IC is where I work. So I work at IC, and as I mentioned, IC has two subsidiaries: IC Asset Managers and IC Securities. IC Asset Managers is the fund management or um, investment management side of the business. So if you have money that you want us to manage for you, or an institution or pension fund, all of those guys take their money to the fund management side of the business to manage for them. Then we have the IC Securities, which is into listing on the stock exchange, investment banking, fundraising, rights issue, all of those activities. That's what the security side of the business does. Mergers, acquisitions, those side of the business handles those kind of things. So you've heard of the MTN IPO. Our side of the security side of the business was what the company that handled the listing of MTN on the Ghana Stock Exchange. So that's where IC comes in, and that's where I work. Don't ask me the full meaning for IC. I don't know. In fact, a lot of people don't know. Only the people that started the company know it, and they said they are going to write a book around it, and they would let us know the secrets. But up to now, we don't know yet. So we know that we work at IC, and that's it.
Okay. Um. Wow. 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 Somebody asked me this question before. The person has reposted it. Wow. They asked me before the start of the meeting. They want to know. It says that when some you see in school when somebody is choosing between the accounting option, the banking and then finance option, they are saying banking and finance limits you. Banking and finance is going to it limits you. I don't know how true is that? How true is that?
As in limits you to just the banking and finance field.
Yeah, that's what some are saying, but I don't know how true is that since you are in the field already. What's your take on that?
No, it doesn't limit you. You see, I know people who have a background, for instance, in technology, who are who's a vice president in our investment banking side, background in technology. My boss has a background in chemistry. He studied chemistry in school, and he's my boss at the moment. He's working in finance and administration. So that's just to let you know that regardless of whatever field that your background in, the things that you need to be able to succeed in a certain field, to be able to get inside and be able to succeed. As I mentioned, you need an internship, some short courses here and there, someone to and then apply and get into that field, starting from a ground level and then going all the way up. In fact, finance and banking and finance itself is so broad, so broad. There's so many parts to it. There's the part that looks at listing of companies. There's a part that looks at core banking activities, which is commercial banking. There's a part that looks at investment banking. There's a part that looks at financial advisory. There's a part that looks at risk and management. There is so broad, and each one there's so much depth into it, and so much that you can learn. So, first of all, if you are thinking someone is telling you that study banking and finance you are limited, you are not limited to even that field. And even if that's the field that you want to go into, there's so much to discover in just that field alone. And then looking at other places as well. Because the skills that you learn in banking and finance can be applicable in other areas as well. So whether it's a tech company, you'll be able to work over there because you understand finance. Whether it's a marketing company, you can apply the things that you learn from school to the things that you want to, especially if you are now starting out. Just understand that a lot of people, when you complete university, almost everybody is starting from ground zero, and then we're building our way up there. So you are not limited at all. You have the opportunity to explore and apply the things that you've learned to what's on the job.
All right.
Your ability to solve problems and generate ideas are the most important things, and the other skills that you need are the most important.
All right. Thank you. Wow, so enlightening. The questions are coming. The questions are coming. Before I talk about our master class, there's this particular question I want to. It says, how competitive is the finance job market? And if so, what are some tech financial skills that will boost your CV? And does your degree class determine if you get into it or not?
Interesting.
How
So finance,
competitive is the job market, finance job market?
it is because it's great. The offers. I mean, in terms of if you are working in a very good company, the perks of working in the finance industry are good. Exposure, the people that you work with, all of that are great. They are good motivators for people who are smart to get into that field. So, and also the people that recruit for this field look for the best of the best. They want people that are sharp, that when they come to the team, they are ready to go in terms of adding value to the team or adding value to the company. So, is that competitive? It means that you have to brace yourself and do well. It's not beyond you. You have your own unique skills that you have. If you are serious and you are focused and you work hard at it, you will get into it. As I said, when you complete university, you are on the same level. What to make it succeed is highly dependent on what effort you are putting into to be able to get into that field. But there are shortcuts that you can take. If you're already in school, take internships in finance. It's when you put your CV on the ground on the table, people can see that you've put yourself in this kind of places before. So when they put you in the company, that's not the time they are going to explain what an asset is, or what a liability is, or what investment return is, or when they say per annum, what does it mean? So those basic things that you need, apply yourself and learn those things and put those things in your CV. That makes you stand out. Whether you're taking internship, whether you're taking short courses, or whether you're participating in webinars like this, all of this open your mind and to be able to know what it takes to be able to succeed in a finance role. So by adding that to the CV, it helps you to be able to stand out because, as I mentioned, it's very competitive because of what you would get when you get into that field. And the people that are also recruiting are looking for the best of the best. So in order to make yourself stand out, do the things that other people are not doing. The internships, the extra working hours, the part-time jobs, the participating in clubs like this, learning, taking online courses, all of this sets you apart, and adding it to CV makes you stand out. So this will help you to be able to secure a job among the competition that you see.
All right, and I mean, somebody is asking where are you located? They would like to do internship. I mean, that's actually the main reason why we organize webinars in Cuba. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So where are you located? So that vacation, if someone wants to come and have attachment internship with you, they can
Okay,
access.
so I see it's in Accra. If you know Alisa Hotel, the main Alisa Hotel at Ridge, in the same area as GBC. Okay, same area as GBC, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. In that same area, you find Alisa Hotel, the main Alisa Hotel. We are adjacent to Alisa Hotel at Ridge. So if you're interested in an internship, you could submit your CV and a cover letter stating that this is what you want to do, and you can either bring it in person or you can find out the company's email on the website. That's ice.africa, and then submit it over there. Also, there's a phone number over there which you can call the front desk, inquire about the internship program, and then they will give you the process on how you can apply for the internship and then be part of it. So I think this information will help.
Okay. I think you can please viewers, you can kindly check in our chat for our call to actions for university students. You can check it's in the chat, and I mean can see it's there. Thank you very much, Mr. Kote. Please let me talk about the Bethniel Finance Academy Masterclass before you leave. Okay, so the Bethniel Finance Masterclass is coming up.
From the perspective as the president of the Bethniel Finance University community, I'm happy when I see that over 150 plus members of this community have had their financial lives changed. Every week, we have activities, we have webinars, and we are educating them on the various sections of their personal finance lives. And also from the perspective of being in the community myself, I've seen immense change in my financial life. I never considered retirement till I joined the Bethniel Finance community, and I have a retirement plan. My investment portfolio, everything is looking good, and I didn't just do that on my own. It's because I stick with Bethniel Finance. I've seen the change. I've had the opportunity to, connect with all the people who have interviewed on our webinars, and it's been exciting as an individual and as a student.
All right, thank you. So I wanted to talk about the upcoming Bethniel Finance Masterclass Academy. Then, so it comes off on the 27th of February to 24th of March. And then the benefits you are going to get, I think you are going to get, there is a whole lot. I mean, for our courses that we are going to treat, just even look at what Mr. Kote is explaining to us. I mean, some of us don't know so much about this finance and stuff, but then as we've been doing our publicity on campus and more, some of you might have heard more about but then those who are here who have not heard about it, I tell you that the Bethniel Finance Masterclass Academy is coming on the 27th of February to 24th. The links are in the various groups that are going viral. Please do what to register. It just goes for 180 cedis. Do what to register. You get a certificate of participation. I mean, if you hold such a certificate, I don't think if you are going anywhere to go and work, you I think you have upper hand over someone who is not with such a certificate in finance. And then as well, you'll be getting a whole 50 points. Wow, 50, wow, 50 points on our app. You can convert those points into cash, and that's amazing. I think that's really, really amazing. And then you get access to all our courses and then our content, the curriculum that we've been treating. And I think this is very, very good. This is very good. So please, about the Bethniel Finance app, you can go to the Google Play Store and then the Google App Store. You get it there. The name is Bethniel Finance. Bethniel Finance. And then also go to our chat. You can check our chat and then get a checklist over there. Please view our chat now. John, Richard, please view our chats and check our checklist out. It's there. It's there. All right. Okay. And please, Mr. Koti.
Hello, Dominic.
Mr. Koti.
Dominic, can you hear me?
To me, the Bethniel Finance app replaced a hole in my life. I have always wanted something closer to, getting financial information in one spot. And it was really difficult trying to do that in Ghana, for Ghana. And so when the Bethniel Finance app came, I realized that I had all the market information I was looking for. It would report on bonds, mutual funds, stocks, forex, everything I was looking for really. And the spot I was talking about was filled. I now go to the Bethniel Finance app almost every day and I get the market information that I need.
Okay. So, Mr. Koti.
Hello, Dominic, can you hear me?
And please, before you leave, can you give us any advice to somebody? Yes, please. Can you give us any advice? I mean, as you can't leave it just like that with all the knowledge you are having. I mean, you've shared a lot with us, but any advice you have for us as youngsters who are trying to pursue career in finance?
What I'll say is, the advice I'll give you is it's pretty simple. Figure out what you want to do as early as possible. Try a lot of things. If you are young, try a lot of things. If you can start a small business, try it. If you want to read a book, try it. If you want to get into a new training, a new program, a new course online, try new things. That will help you a lot. It will help you to learn and broaden your scope. If you want to get into finance, orient your mind that it's going to be a lot of hard work. You have to put in a lot of effort to get to where you want to get to. A lot of successful people I know work hours and hours. So orient your mind that you're going to put in a lot of effort. And then I'll leave you with this. Also, this last quote. I remember I shared some quotes, but this quote also helps me a lot. Um, do not take success to heart and do not take failure. Do not take success to your head. Do not take failure to your heart. If you succeed at some things, that's great. Take it as normal. Enjoy the moment. Pick the lessons from it, and move on with it. Move on to other things. If you feel at something, don't let it get to your heart. Don't let it weigh you down. Just take it as another day, another lesson, and then keep moving forward. If you're able to live your life like this, you'll be able to avoid the ups and downs of life. Like there may be ups and downs, but you just be living like this. If it's good, you enjoy the moment, you keep going. If it goes down a little, the moment becomes a little unbearable, but then you keep living your life and you keep going. So work hard at the things that you want to do, put effort into it, try new things. If you succeed at things, great. Enjoy the moment, take the lessons, keep going forward. If you feel that some things don't let it get to you, there's always another opportunity for you to grow and to learn. So I believe this would help you to be able to navigate your career and like starting your career and getting into it. So this will help you. These are some of the things that also helped me when I was also starting. So yeah, I believe you it will help you. Yeah. So
All right.
Dominic,
All
yeah,
right.
these are some of the words I can share. I can live with you. Be diligent, work hard, put in
Thank you
effort.
very
That
much, Mr. Kotti. Thank you.
To me, the Bethniel Finance app replaced a hole in my life. I have always wanted something closer to, getting financial information in one spot. And it was really difficult trying to do that in Ghana, for Ghana. And so when the Bethniel Finance app came, I realized that I had all the market information I was looking for. It would report on bonds, mutual funds, stocks, forex, everything I was looking for really. And the spot I was talking about was filled. I now go to the Bethniel Finance app almost every day and I get the market information that I need. From the perspective as the president of the Bethniel Finance University community, I'm happy when I see that over 150 plus members of this community have had their financial lives change. Every week, we have activities, we have webinars, and we are educating them on the various sections of their personal finance lives. And also from the perspective of being in the community myself, I've seen immense change in my financial life. I never considered retirement till I joined the Bethniel Finance community, and I have a retirement plan. My investment portfolio, everything is looking good, and I didn't just do that on my own. It's because I stick with Bethniel Finance. I've seen the change. I've had the opportunity to, connect with all the people who have interviewed on our webinars, and it's been exciting as an individual and as a student.
Hi, the new year is ending, and as is very typical of people, especially Ghanaians, we are making hard and fast rules on how to be healthy in the new year, how to go to the gym in the new year, and even how to be better children to our parents in the new year. I understand it gets hard sometimes, but as you're making all these wonderful, beautiful plans, I need you to make plans on how to start the new year financially right. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do.
Please do what to join us as we always meet. KNUST, please do what to join us. Do what to join us. Do what to join us. Okay. As a student, you have to get some knowledge, you have to get some enlightenment. That's why we always organize these webinars for you. And so please do what to join us. If you are in KNUST, please see the team. See the team, contact lawyers. I've seen you, John, you are there, Richard, you are there. Contact lawyers. Lawyers will add you.
Hi, the new year is ending, and as is very typical of people, especially Ghanaians, we are making hard and fast rules on how to be healthy in the new year, how to go to the gym in the new year, and even how to be better children to our parents in the new year. I understand it gets hard sometimes, but as you're making all these wonderful, beautiful plans, I need you to make plans on how to start the new year financially right. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that. 1, if you're owing somebody, go and pay. That friend I gave you money for your December chillings, pay them and don't borrow again. 2, revisit your expenditure in the past year and think about it for a second. Did I spend my money well? Did I spend my money wisely? What did I do good? What did I do bad? What do I want to carry with me in the new year as I'm trying to start the new year financially right? List them and stick to them. And finally, master budgeting. Luckily for you, the Bethniel Finance app can help you with that. Think about how much you spend in a day and what you spend in a day, in a week, in a month, and project it for the year and make plans for that. And as you're doing all of these, remember to be money wise and stay ahead financially with the Bethniel Finance app. Thank you.
How to win the war against inflation. Inflation is a silent budget killer. It causes the price of everything to go up, from our food, transportation, clothes, and even fuel. In Ghana, our situation is quite peculiar, as inflation keeps on rising by the months. But wait, do not panic. There are actions to take and things to avoid to help you win the war against inflation. Here are 4 basic ways to do so. 1. Reduce your expenses. Take a closer look at your expenses. Consider the things that you can cut out and the things that you can reduce. Some expenses to look at are your airtime, your data bundle, and your recurring subscriptions like Netflix, Apple Music, and Spotify. 2. Buy in bulk. Buy non-perishable goods and foods that have a longer staying period in bulk. 3. Lifestyle adjustments. Consider some lifestyle adjustments. For example, you can cook more at home and eat more from home. You can also engage more in indoor activities other than outdoor activities. 4. Increase your income. Find flexible jobs that you can do to earn extra money to cover your immediate expenses. Some jobs that you can explore are rideshare services like Uber and Bolt, or online jobs from sites like FlexJobs and Upwork. Join a Bethniel Finance community today to learn more about how you can improve your personal finance. How to win the war against inflation. Inflation is a silent budget killer. It causes the price of everything to go up, from our food, transportation, clothes, and even fuel. In Ghana, our situation is quite peculiar, as inflation keeps on rising by the months. But wait, do not panic. There are actions to take and things to avoid to help you win the war against inflation. Here are 4 basic ways to do so. 1. Reduce your expenses. Take a closer look at your expenses. Consider the things that you can cut out and the things that you can reduce. Some expenses to look at are your airtime, your data bundle, and your recurring subscriptions like Netflix, Apple Music, and Spotify. 2. Buy in bulk. Buy non-perishable goods and foods that have a longer staying period in bulk. 3. Lifestyle adjustments. Consider some lifestyle adjustments. For example, you can cook more at home and eat more from home. You can also engage more in indoor activities other than outdoor activities. 4. Increase your income. Find flexible jobs that you can do to earn extra money to cover your immediate expenses. Some jobs that you can explore are rideshare services like Uber and Bolt, or online jobs from sites like FlexJobs and Upwork. Join a Bethniel Finance community today to learn more about how you can improve your personal finance. How to win the war against inflation. Inflation is a silent budget killer. It causes the price of everything to go up, from our food, transportation, clothes, and even fuel. In Ghana, our situation is quite peculiar, as inflation keeps on rising by the months. But wait, do not panic. There are actions to take and things to avoid to help you win the war against inflation. Here are 4 basic ways to do so. 1. Reduce your expenses. Take a closer look at your expenses. Consider the things that you can cut out and the things that you can reduce. Some expenses to look at are your airtime, your data bundle, and your recurring subscriptions like Netflix, Apple Music, and Spotify. 2. Buy in bulk. Buy non-perishable goods and foods that have a longer staying period in bulk. 3. Lifestyle adjustments. Consider some lifestyle adjustments. For example, you can cook more at home and eat more from home. You can also engage more in indoor activities other than outdoor activities. 4. Increase your income. Find flexible jobs that you can do to earn extra money to cover your immediate expenses. Some jobs that you can explore are rideshare services like Uber and Bolt, or online jobs from sites like FlexJobs and Upwork. Join a Bethniel Finance community today to learn more about how you can improve your personal finance. How to win the war against inflation. Inflation is a silent budget killer. It causes the price of everything to go up, from our food, transportation, clothes, and even fuel. In Ghana, our situation is quite peculiar, as inflation keeps on rising by the months. But wait, do not panic. There are actions to take and things to avoid to help you win the war against inflation. Here are 4 basic ways to do so. 1. Reduce your expenses. Take a closer look at your expenses. Consider the things that you can cut out and the things that you can reduce. Some expenses to look at are your airtime, your data bundle, and your recurring subscriptions like Netflix, Apple Music, and Spotify. 2. Buy in bulk. Buy non-perishable goods and foods that have a longer staying period in bulk. 3. Lifestyle adjustments. Consider some lifestyle adjustments. For example, you can cook more at home and eat more from home. You can also engage more in indoor activities other than outdoor activities. 4. Increase your income. Find flexible jobs that you can do to earn extra money to cover your immediate expenses. Some jobs that you can explore are rideshare services like Uber and Bolt, or online jobs from sites like FlexJobs and Upwork. Join a Bethniel Finance community today to learn more about how you can improve your personal finance. How to win the war against inflation. Inflation is a silent budget killer. It causes the price of everything to go up, from our food, transportation, clothes, and even fuel. In Ghana, our situation is